I have to say something. Today has been a very clarifying day, way more than people might realize, way more than I realized. I just wrote a update after having an epic tribe talk and uploading a few videos to the YouTubes, where I realized what we have done. It's interesting. So I went into the adventures channel on Discord, and I was supposed to just update on the adventure. So I wrote a little thing. I was supposed to write a little thing. I was supposed to just drop the link to the tribe talk, or actually just the actual adventure share. I think, yes, just the live stream that was missed for those people who missed it. So I'm going to just read that, see what I wrote, because I don't know. I have no idea what I wrote, and I'm thinking there might be more behind it because the N key was sticking, so I wasn't able to say exactly what I wanted in the flow that I wanted. Stream of consciousness. It's hard to keep up. So I'm gonna just read this on this video, making it a little bit multi-purposed, so that if you don't like to read a lot and you just want to hear, you now have the ability to do that as well. Multi-formats. That's how we do it in Lazy Forge, apparently. Okay. For those who missed it live, this has been an extremely clarifying month. The adventures have done more than I really anticipated, which is the whole point of it all, isn't it? After me and Kyle share the story from two perspectives, within the limited time that we had, one would think that 2 hours were enough, but we quickly learned, a bunch of new perspectives unfolded themselves. We hosted a tribe talk, which was announced to everyone at around 9 p.m. Norwegian time and 3 p.m. US time. And it evolved into an epic deep dive of human perspectives and the journey we are all on individually. We have documented this process for a decade, and we are ready to tell our truth, especially when it hurts. We are the pattern interrupters and the chain breakers who will stand tall as we shine a light on the injustice that is currently affecting a lot of people. We're taking the walk and turning it from autopilot and conditional logic to manual and conscious. I'm done being there for every energy leech that feels good when they need it. This is the process. This is the journey beyond the adventures. This is the core. It can be a bitch and a half, but at least it's real. It's not supposed to be surface only act. One of the things that I have found most value in is the radar for authenticity, the ability to separate the talk from the walk and see when someone is moving their mouth or actually doing what they say. It's been one hell of a ride. In light of this, I also want to announce that we know extremely well who has been part of Tribe and who's been keeping a seat warm for someone who's ready for what it's about. We are going to delete some channels here in Discord very soon to make it reflect the vision and the adventure that has been created, so that people who find this place in the future know when they can do what, or know where they can do what. When we do that, we're going to activate the tiers that we've been talking about for a year, the paid tiers. The free portion of this place will have resources for those who simply want to observe, which is completely fine and respected. But the more adventurous elements that we've shared for free all over the place for years now will be more available for those who show interest and walk their talk. Don't expect your dreams and wishes to come true without putting in the input that is required, because as mentioned, it's not for everyone. It's a bitch and a half. Some people, as we've seen several times this year, simply cannot handle the raw and authentic dance that is necessary to truly be aligned with yourself in a constructive manner for the generations coming after us. We do not just talk about cool things, we share our experiences from implementing them, and there is a difference. Stop studying how to live your life and start acting like the main character of your saga, which, by the way, is one of our classes and our programs that supports people who do exactly that. If you need support, that is. I'm about to own the fact that we've created a realm of infinite possibilities. And unfortunately for some, that includes change that they're not willing or ready to embrace, if ever. It's a journey, so make the most of it. Heart emoji. In parentheses, in closing, damn, that became more than I intended to share. More info being created as it happens, of course. End of transmission. There's a lot in those words, more than I am prepared to answer in text, because this is where it gets problematic. When you have so much that you need to kind of share in order to get the full context of what you mean, many people cannot follow that train of thought, especially when it is in text, because that requires focus. Right now, you're just listening to my words. It's easy. You can be cooking, you can be masturbating, you can do whatever you want as you're listening to these words. You can be driving on a highway in 200 miles an hour. It wouldn't matter. But if you're trying to read this while doing that, that's a different case. So don't do that. We have people going around in their lives and they're enjoying the fuck out of it and they just cannot keep up with the text. It's understandable. And when we're creating the amount of things that we are creating, it's very hard to keep up with it, which we understand. The problem is that we have been giving away, as I said, everything for free, which has created this whole I will value this for as much as I paid for it to be here. And if you're free, if you're here just because you found it, you're like, maybe I'll look at what I want to do in my life and just view it as something that, that would be cool. Then you have nothing in this Discord community to be. Like, there's no reason for you to be here at all. What we do is we go into the deep fucking things. We go into the core. We go into the authentic, the fucking hard, the disturbing, and the ground shaking trauma that has changed who you are. And now we're getting aware of those patterns and we're removing them and we're standing our ground and we're going up against a fuck ton of people, 99% of the people, to be honest, who does not see the world like that. They see it through their own little path, their own little channel, their speciality, their own little fractal of the whole picture. Well, we're trying to bridge the gaps between the context. A psychologist does not necessarily know a lot about mathematics, and vice versa. So we are listening to authority that has been specialized in one field, and they're so fucking blocked on that they don't see the picture. They don't see what they're actually doing. They don't see that they're actually creating the problem that they're trying to help people with. It can go very much deeper than what I just did, but I'm not going to do that. My thing is, we try to create, help, support, and guide leaders in their own life, or to become a leader in their own life, to forge a legacy. It's not something that is just, I'm a legacy forger. It's cool. It's about having the conversations with your kids. It's about climbing the mountain. It is about playing with them. It is about living life as intended. It is about going through the motions. It's about knowing yourself. It's about going into the dark. It's about not fearing the dark. It's about all the things. Most people see a cool logo and there's like, I want to be a part of that. I don't care. There are levels to this. That's why it's been so hard to communicate. That's why, because we lack the proper structure, we haven't been able to do what we actually intend to do. We've had these physical events, gatherings, adventures all over. There has been so many by now, but we are not able to share it in its totality because they've been kind of like all over the place in terms of how do we share this. There are things that happen in this situation that we cannot share publicly. It does not work. We had to create our own system. We had to go into coding. We have to go in and figure out how can we share this in the most valued, respected, and authentic aligned way when everything around us is aligned towards the other means, where everything is materialistic, everything is based on an agenda, everything is something that creates friction. I'm not going to say everything either because that's a lie. It's not black and white. We have created our own way of communicating this. While we are doing so, we are creating these different tiers and levels of this whole thing that we call the game of life, all the things that we have been creating and living for a long time. And we've seen who is there. We have seen who has been part of the calls. We see who is asking questions. We see who's active. We see who likes the post. We see who shares the post. Because honestly, there's not a lot. Yeah, some people got a little bit surprised by that because it looks like it's all over the place. Well, that because it requires a lot of work. Doesn't have to, but right now it has been requiring so much work. So it doesn't matter if you like a post and by that think that you're part of the whole thing of being a legacy forger, because it goes way beyond. I've been trying to say that I'm here I'm offering free calls for everyone who feels called to actually take a little grip and do something about their life and not talk about it, not stay in that sticky situation. I know this might sound like I'm triggering something. If I do, then that's a good sign because then there is something there. But we've been there to try to help people all over, given over what we can give. And I'm done. I'm done with that. If you are someone who takes your life and your whole legacy and generations to come after you seriously, and you need support, then book a call. It's going to cost money now, though, because now I respect myself enough to just say, this is actually transformational. We have so many examples now for those people who felt what they had to change and they took a step and they went in and they did the things. They walked the talk. They got the results. Those people, I see you, I admire you, I respect the fuck out of you. You do what you say you're going to do and you stay in it. That's something that not everyone today understands. To be there and give space to those people who've gone an experience, who've gone on a journey, and it was not pretty. And then being seen for the journey that they have done and being helped and supported as they rewrite what they were lied to believe while they were on that journey in the past. You see how fast it can go so freaking deep? It's not my intention. It's my point. I'm trying to limit myself in how I communicate, and I'm done. I'm done with that. If people don't want to learn how to navigate themselves and put in some effort, I'm using very specific examples here. I'm apologizing for that. Just know that this is because of experiences. If you are a person who are not willing to actually learn a few words and the definitions of them to understand yourself better, then I can't keep dimming my light so that you can understand what I'm saying. It doesn't work. So we've separated it. FML 1, 2, and 3, they're there for a reason. If FML 1 was introduced and subjected to the things that we do in FML 3 and the actions that we do and the results we get and the storms we go through intentionally, if FML 1, that means beginners, people who have not started this yet, were subjected to that, they would hate life. Some people actually end it. So it's important to stay on topic and context in the different areas of where you are on that journey. We're all on the mountain, but we're at different stages of the mountain. We want to help people understand the rules of mountain climbing before they go up there and proclaim themselves to be a teacher of mountain climbing. Sorry. I think I've said a lot in 12 minutes, 13 minutes. But I hope you get my point. Because I'm trying to communicate this in the best way I can. People get triggered by words that just pass on in a sentence. And they don't even want to face the conversation of why that even happened. Well, that's not my problem. We all have our journey. All we can do is do the best we can to be the best version of ourselves that we want and help others do the same. You know, we've been in the dark so long that it's about time that we shine the light for other people who come after us. I try to be inspirational there. It was based on a tweet yesterday, but it's not there yet. I hope you get what I mean. I now have to figure out how I am going to have that physical meeting in Kristiansand, the Kristiansand area, probably in 2 days, 3 days. Technically, we're on Wednesday, so on Friday, we're probably going to meet up somewhere on the coastline or in the inlands. I have no idea. I'm going to figure that out, and you're going to see all about it. And know that it doesn't have to be a feeling of I wish I was there, because we have been shouting in your ear. Click the link, book the call, buy the thing if you want to be part of it. We do this for free as well, but understand that people have to eat. That took a long while for me. I was hungry for a long time until I understood I should probably just value myself enough to say that this costs money and then just announce that, as I do right now. There will be some changes, but I think that most people, especially those who have been part of this, and you know who you are, if you have been in contact with me or chatting with me or part of the tribe talks or doing anything in terms of supporting this whole thing, you know who you are. It's very simple. And if you don't, if you feel a little triggered that you haven't put in anything, when is now a good time to start if you actually want it? It's just that if you don't prioritize your own growth, we can't do it for you. We can show you the water, but you have to drink. It's a very like simple thing. Took a long while for the understanding to come though, but hey, that's also part of the journey. Now I shall go and chill a little bit, allow the day to settle in, and I wish you a freaking epic rest of your week. It's just Tuesday after all, or Wednesday now. But also before I leave, before I go, I want to show you something. Or should I? I'm not sure if I should. As I said, I have 13 pages of a story that has been created for the 2 first days of the adventure, and I read just 1 chapter of it on the stream, and it seemed to be going. It seemed to carry off carry on the point. It delivered the message, and I really enjoyed reading it. So I think I'm going to continue that, and then have a hell of a story that I can just put some videos and some photos on and just narrate. I can be a voice actor. All right. If you want this energy, you know where to find me. Love your face. Take care of your freaking family. Until next time, I'll see you there.